welcome back to the next part of whittling Kratos God of War, Ghost of Sparta. There he is, our last session. And we're just going to put some paint on him now. So we've got a palette with several different brushes here and some water. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill one of these up with water. I'm going to take a small drop of red, just touch it on the side, because you never need that much of the red. Then we will get a relatively small brush. We'll just drop it in the red and we will mix it in the water. And that is all we will need. We will need no more than that. Mix it in and make sure there's no extra red left on the paintbrush. We'll get our little man and we will just put a base layer over the top of him in all the fleshy areas. That will be the start of the painting process for him. Keep this really watered down, otherwise it will get too red and we won't be able to go back over it. Could have even had it even weaker again, I think. Anyway, here's what it is. Get that all over. Then on the body, sorry, the TV blaring away in the background, kids watching the TV. So we're just getting this red, this watered down red in all of our fleshy parts. And then what we'll do is we'll leave them to dry, see how that's dried out, and then come back and either give him another coat where we feel we need, and if we feel we need to give him another coat. There we go, that's him done. All of his fleshy areas. Like I say, really watered down, just a touch of that red in there. Okay, what I did do off camera is I gave my barbecue stick, which is going to be spear, and then I quickly whittled a battle axe. So what we'll do with them is we'll get a beastie brown. Not sure I like that actually. Beastie brown, that doesn't come out very beastie brown at all. It's because I didn't shake the bottle enough. And we will paint our stake. And we will paint what would be the wood of our axe. Go. And then we'll go with a got a silver here. So we'll just touch the silver on the axe. And we will let that dry. Back to the warrior himself. I'm going to put some silver on his boots. He's got some chainmail style boots, I've decided. Just to be a little bit different. If I don't like that, I could always paint back over that, but I would probably just darken this up with like a black overcoat. Just thought it might look a little bit different than a normal leathery boot, and still giving that sort of more of that warrior look. So I just cut in some ridges on it so it give it a bit of an armory sort of look. There we go. Then changing paintbrushes. I'm gonna just gonna water down that brown a touch. And then I'm just gonna paint that in to his leathery breastplate here. breastplate. Just put a slightly darker tone underneath where it will create a better shadow. And then lighter on the top. But we'll probably go over this a few times yet. Anyway. And for now, that'll be pretty much all I will do until he dries off. Then I can just assess whether I need to go darker on that skin tone, leave it alone, maybe add a different, slightly different colour to it. At this stage, I think that is all we will need to do because my battery's running low as well, so I can turn off, let him dry, and then come back to do a bit of the rest. Okay, over and out. Welcome back. We're back again with our little Kratos figure. Let's try it off a touch now. So what we're going to do is I've just put the same sort of colour on his trousers, but what we're going to do is with it out it so watered down, we're going to put maybe something a bit darker than that one actually. I'm going to put slightly darker in the creases. Just to give it a bit of shadowing. The trousers. I just got to have two tones in the colour.
Looks good. Big fat wolf. What do you think now? Well, you tell me. We'll get back to Grandma. Actually, talk chat. Yeah, what's that? I've had a lot of time to think.
Okay. What we also want to do is on this leather breastplate, I just want to put a slightly darker colour in along where the lines are, just to make them pop a little bit more. Give it a little bit more interest than just plain paint. Okay, just makes it pop a little bit more.
You're so attractive. Why do you seem so comfortable? If I go with you, skin. Why are you being weird? I'm being weird. You're the one who's lying to me. Look, is this my idea of a joke?
Okay.
You didn't say it. No.
go. I'm going to put a little bit of a fleshy colour, watered down a little bit on top of them. It's necessarily need this, but I just think it will give it another touch to the tone. So we'll give him a little bit more of a skin sort of colour. So we'll go with this over the top of the red. Okay. Or food on the table, or a babysitter on tap. I bent over backwards for you, Jake, and this is the thanks I get. There we go. Just a couple more coats. We'll just run that over the top of the body as well. So where it was red, it will continue to stay sort of red, where the colour didn't come out quite so much. And there's a bit of wooden colour in there. The fleshy colour will sit in there. Just give it another dimension, another tone, if you like. A bit more of that. Just take away some of that pinkiness of it. I could have done with probably having slightly less red. When we did that, it was only a spot of red. And even then, sometimes it can be too much. Sorry, I got EastEnders on in the background, which is what that noise is. So family watching EastEnders. And we are painting. So then we've got quite a decent-ish colour on him there. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill up one of our trays with water. And then we're going to go for a very small spot. Black. So I've got that. And what I do with this is when I pour the water, and I just put the colour on the side, usually because it comes out too much. And then we're going to go I'm in that habit of when I finish with some of my brushes, putting it in my mouth and just sucking the colour out of it. I understand years and years ago, some people they painted for a living or in these factories and stuff, used to do the same thing. Quite a few of them ended up dying of lead poisoning. So that's an interesting fact for you. Good job they don't make paints like that anymore. Anyway, just going to put that over the top of our breastplate. I should just make it pop a little bit more. It'll die down as it dries out. So you should see that. We're going to do that over the top of the armoured shoes as well, just to get the black in the lines. We'll just paint it slightly over the top of his trousers, just to dull the colour down a little bit. Okay. You have to make sure that's very watery, otherwise you're going to end up putting black colour in on it, which we don't want to do.
About 3,000 tests were carried out. So in the short term, what we're being told is the testing regime is going to continue. Bear in mind, it has been scaled back. Players and staff are tested twice a week now.
Okay. And then with this paint, we're just going to go over the top of his beard. We might have to go over this quite a few times, or we could just thicken it up. Let's see how it goes as we've got it now. We don't want a thick black on there really, if we can help of it, because it will just detract from everything we've done. But we do want the black to sit in all the cuts, which of course won't look good if you've done too many non-required cuts, because it will highlight it a little bit. But on this scenario, I think we just want these cuts to highlight what we've done. And there we go. Just touching it all over. You could also put a little bit on the hands, just in the cut to the hands, just to, again, just to make those pop. You can use a bit of black in the corners wherever you want to make that, so you've got shadowing. Just dye down the buckle a little bit. In this corner. Backs of the arms. Anyway, you just want a bit of shadowing, really. Okay. So that's our little guy. We could have a stake for him. We got an axe for him. We could, both for the spear and for the axe, we could get some black cotton. We could just put a bit of glue on it. We could put some black cotton and wrap it round. That would kind of look pretty cool for a finished look. We are getting there with this fella now. We need some whites for his eyes. A slightly deeper red for that bottom lip. I'll probably use a slightly fleshier colour for that, I think. Don't think there'll be any highlighting that scar anymore. Not sure. I'll have to think about that. I may put a little bit of grey in the bags of his eyes. I may put a bit of grey across the top. Should we have a look at that? So if we get hold of some grey, put a little touch of grey in the palette. It's too much, so I'm just going to use the palette next to it. Okay, so we don't want this much on here. Now we're just going to just lightly brush over his head. Just give us a visual of, you know, when somebody has like a shaven head or a bald head, but they've just got slightly different colouring on the top of where the hair used to stand, used to be. We can do that several times. Don't want to do it too many times because it's going to look like a skinhead a bit. But There we go. I think that's got that. And we'll need a little bit more detail brush. We're going to put a little bit of that just underneath his bags of his eyes.
It can be like this, and this is of course not what we want, and of course not what Romelu wants, but it's also not like it's not the time to laugh about him, make jokes about him. He's in the spotlight, of course, and we will protect him because he's okay. We play many games in the majority of the games in a back three with wing backs, and two of the key wing backs are.
Also want a little bit on his eyebrows. Just be careful with black.
Position to influence the game. Yeah, but still, you can also play in games without any player. This is
Okay. Just use some of that black just to go back in over some of the cuts that we had in. And some of the creases. Just on the bottoms. Just make that beard pop a little bit more.
No chances created, no touches in the opposition box. He also didn't win any of his aerials or duels. Look at Pulisic and I look at Ziyech. I think when's the ball coming in? Chop, come back, go again. I'm thinking, I've made a run, it's not coming into the picture. When I look at his positional sense, I think his ability to
just taking our time to make sure we get all of that in all of it. Get it equal each side of the beard so it doesn't look strange.
You'd see him now leaning back into a player and grabbing him, using his arms to keep him tight to him, but he's not. He's asking for that ball just to be pushed into that area so he can go and win it, and that's what he wants.
There we go. I can't do it, the eyes, and get them on camera because it's a little bit in the way. So what I'll do is I'll whiten the eyes up a little bit. I'll probably wait till it dries and I may just chuck a little bit more grey under that eye. Probably put a little bit more on the top as that dries. Then I'll put his axe and his spear in place, and then I will come back with one last showing of what he looks like. And I'll post him on my Instagram page where you'll be able to see better photos of him. There is Kratos with his armory. I've also got, which I nearly forgot, he has a red line going through here. So what I need to do is I need to look that up. But what I'll do is I'll just touch him up a little bit more and we'll come back. See you in a bit. And here he is, the finishing product. Kratos. But look at the background so we can see him better. Move around so we can get the shadow. So we've got the red line on his head. There he is. So he's going to go up here with some of my other guys. Look at that for a awesome duo. Kratos, Batman with the milkman. yeah, he was fun. He was good. Hope you enjoyed it.